People, Deluded, I'm back again. Now I've spoken with a couple of agents and scouts that I know, and football's a small world. And it doesn't matter if you're scouts, clubs, agents, tea lady, whatever. We're all, YouTubers, people in society, we're all fearing the unknown. But in a footballing sense, it's difficult because it's crazy. Everyone can understand that people are losing money. You've seen a lot of players freezing their wages, donating to charity, donating parts of wages, and other little things. Agreeing to defer their wages being paid until we blow over this. A lot of that is smart, but it's also a worrying time because, contrary to popular belief, don't get me wrong, being an agent in particular is you can earn a lot of money, you can earn a decent amount of money, but not everyone is the Renolas, the Mendes. Some people are just honest working men with, if you've got, no disrespect, but the lower end of the championship, a couple League One and League Two players, this sort of humble stable of players. Not everyone's got Ox and Jadon Sancho and Reece Nelson and Raheem Sterling and things. Some people just have humble players that, no disrespect, you can walk past them in the street, don't know who it is. It's for them that are worried, and it's for them that I'm kind of scared because, you're sweating a bit because contract renewals are being put off the table now, at least for the next couple of months until this blows over. With the exception, at least unless you're someone like Aubameyang, it's off the table because why? It's a knock-on effect. Clubs' budgets are now being slashed. Budgets are having to, people having to do smart things with budgets. So if you haven't got as much as a budget, you might say, you know what? That contract renewal is a myth, or bringing in that player is a myth. So that means that agent isn't going to get his 5%, or that means, that means the player's stressed, but that means he isn't going to get his 5%. That means he isn't going to earn his commission on getting the player moved. And that means he might struggle to pay his kids. Obviously, for me, I'm more scared for scouts. Full-time scouts, of course, but it's more so the part-time scouts, the real scouts that are the ones that really find these players, people. The part-time scout, the man that's been doing it for 20 years, the man that goes up and down. Evidently, there's no games to watch. You can probably watch games online and do up your thing, but there's no games to watch. And a lot of clubs employ a lot of scouts, but if you're naturally, as a business, again, we need to look at it from a business and not a heart point of view. You've got to save money. You can't save everybody or you help nobody. That's a fact of life. So if you've got this big outlay of weight of the budget, you've got all these scouts in England, you've got several scouts in England, several scouts in Spain, cutbacks. You might say, you know what, we're dosh this off, we're getting rid of the whole scouting network. Or you might say, okay, cool, we're going to do a different model. We still want our scouts out there, but rather than 10, we're going to have 5. We're going to have 5 there, and they have to do what they have to do, but people are going to be out of work, people are going to lose jobs, scouts that have been in the game, and there's many, half the time you see these Jadon Sanchos and Raheem Sterlings and these players, the people that claim the credit for these men weren't the ones that found them initially. One, because they just wasn't. Typically it's a part-time scout or vocational scout. He's not the guy who can just say you're coming for a trial. He'll take the parents, not supposed to, but he'll take the parents and the managers of that club's details. You'll then pass it to the head of recruitment or you're up above, and they'll settle the contract. They'll set up the trial. If he signs, you might get a little bit appeased because he signed, and as that player goes up and gets scholars and whatnot, there's some money for the scout, but typically they don't get the credit for that. So it's these honest scouts I'm very scared for, people, because they're the ones that are going to lose their roles. Evidently, we know tea ladies, match day staff and all of these things are being covered, but it's still a concern. Coaches as well. It's quite scary, people. It's really scary, and obviously as society, I know you lot weren't naive enough to think April the 3rd is gonna come and we're back as a society. Even when we're over this corona thing, even if corona was eradicated today, it can't be a thing where, okay, it's gone today, everybody go back to work tomorrow, everybody gets flocked the streets. You can't. I don't know the answers, but you're going to have the gradual process of bringing back public transport widespread and all the services and all the shops open and all the, it's never going to happen overnight. You've heard we're deferring this thing until June, like you've seen with Holland. I don't know why England would think we're better than anyone else. Everyone's delaying it until June, July. As a society, football mirrors society. So that means a lot of people are going to have to sit on their hands. And for me, it's taught me a lot. I've always thought I was quite frugal and when need to be shysty and knew how to save money, but it's really teaching me how to grind now, people. And it's really teaching me a lot because obviously I was awakened, oh wait, but I've got a job, I've got a small business with YouTube and other little things. I've got other things to worry about, people, and it's about weathering the storm. It's, there's venture capital that can't be on the table. There's certain things I can't do because there's uncertainty. There's certain suppliers, even for shirts and stuff, that for you guys I can't bring out because of this. So it kind of teaches you to keep your head up and get through these uncharted waters. It's also taught me to stack up on hella water and panic and stuff to a healthy degree. And it's always taught me, and again, this will show the agents, the businesses, the players, the clubs who have real financial literacy and are really saving their dividends and really literally saving for a rainy day, because the rainiest of the climates right now, you'll see it, people. People are going to struggle. And obviously the Premier League, you've seen them, we're trying to get this back in June, July. You're hearing everything from, behind closed doors and playing twice, 3-4 times a week, depending on what will happen. There's clearly going to be no simple solution or one that fixes everything, people. Behind closed doors, the players miss the interaction with fans, obviously health and safety, and we miss watching them live. Obviously, any football's better than none, but it's a bit of a myth. And also, you've got people... Society's a big thing. Society should be the underlying cause, but if we're really honest, people, I'm not going to say these people don't care about the honest man and woman going to a football game, but it's about TV money. If we do end this season, bread has to get ran back to the Premier League and Sky, and our clubs want to stomach it? Because you've heard clubs say they want to avoid the season. I think the first priority should be to play the season, people, really. If not, give Liverpool their trophy and then keep it moving and, just write off the season. I don't have any answer, and it's not for me, and I'm sure nobody really has. What happens with promoted and relegated teams and all of these sort of things. And you're also hearing, depending on what UEFA do, that could complicate Premier League's plans anyways, people, especially for the teams that are in Europe. Off topic, Pedro said players might need a short pre-season to before the season can really... short pre-season before the season can resume. But even UEFA's president has said... he said the current football season could be lost if it cannot be restarted by the end of June. Most leagues in Europe, as you know, are suspended because of the epidemic. And, Spain, Italy, France, definitely banned indefinitely. We're still doing to this June thing because we've got the biggest league in the world in terms of paying and all these things. So there's bread on the line. But, we're not different, people. We're not different. We are ironically living on an island, but we're not different to the world. We can't just do things differently for the sake of it. He's also said games could be played behind closed doors. He said if we don't succeed in restarting, the season will probably be lost. He said there's a plan A, plan B and C. The three options are to start again in mid-May, in June or at the end of June. So if it doesn't get moving, football is a wrap. And in England, you're definitely waiting for this corona thing, personally, not to scare anyone, to get worse before it gets better, purely because you're seeing the XL turned into, I believe, the Nightingale or Nightgale Hospital. I can't be sure, people. But either way, would you really do that to that scale if you didn't think this was going to get a tiny bit worse? Even hearing the health secretary come out today and say it could get worse. And even experts are saying this ban in society should carry through until at least June, the latest, people. So if them man there are saying it and the relevant parties are saying it, what makes us any different, people? On that note, I have nothing else to add, so I'm going to get out of it. People, please stay safe. Last thing, we've got a last couple of days in relation to voting for me for the Football Content Awards. Link is in the description. I greatly appreciate if you've done such, people. It takes 2 seconds and it will really mean a lot to me. Thank you very much for listening. Please comment, subscribe, like up the vid, share it all up. Hit me up for some more content. But for now, God bless. I'm out.